Good evening and welcome to Gaming with Scott presents Behind the Masks, a Southgate media production. In this series, our heroes remove their masks so that you, the listener, can learn more about the player behind the character. We discuss topics of interest and encourage our players to go off the rails and down the rabbit hole. We hope this helps our audience get to know us better. Discussions and insights begin just after this music. Then it was Hairbox. It was Aaron Method. Shout out to Aaron, we love you. Who then said, "Yeah, the scones on those walls are beautiful." And we went, "Did you mean sconces?" And he went, "Yeah, what did I say?" And I was like, "Buttery, flavory rolls from England." Like, is that what you meant to say?
That's great.
Oh. Well, what are they? Are they sconces? Scones? Are they scones? No, they're light fixtures, you idiot.
I used to say scimitar because in my head I used to read it all the time in books, and I used to think, no, there's a C in there. It's scimitar.
It's not sim.
It's a
Yeah, I know. I know now.
I know now. Well, and it's amazing that when you say words and you can tell that the individual says them and you go, you've only ever read that word. You've never heard it said.
Yeah.
My daughter has been doing that a lot lately. She'll say a word in a sentence. I was like, no, honey, you pronounce it like this. What book did you read it in?
Yeah, exactly. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gaming with Scott. I'm here with Rico.
Yo.
I'm here with Kelly.
Hello.
And I'm here, focused in, eye contact with
I'm ready. I'm not
John
gonna mess
Kennedy.
Up. It's me.
How's everybody doing tonight?
All right.
We're doing phenomenally well. So you're listening to Behind the Masks, and we're here. We're talking about scones and scimitars. And one thing I'd like to bring up, this is a topic that I really think that we should jump into because there's a whole lot of angles. So how is it pronounced? Sarahah? Is that how it's pronounced? Sarahah?
I don't know.
Is it that it's that anonymous commenty thing online that everybody seems to be doing?
I hear it like a Jawa every time.
Sarah Jawa?
No, Sarahah.
I can't even stand the idea of it
Like Utini
as a thing.
like a Jawa, really? Yeah.
It's terrible.
I don't know. For me, people have been making dummy accounts for years, and I don't know how many times I've been arguing with someone online who's like, "My name's John Galt." No, it's literally
no,
not
it's
John
not.
Galt.
No, it's
I'm reasonably assuming that you are not, in fact, John Galt with your
Right.
Atlas Shrugged avatar.
Yeah, exactly.
Atlas
Very
shrugged.
nice.
You really went there.
And it's just sort of a it's so
It's
instead
like
of
talking
people
to Palmer.
well, instead of people making that's cold. Instead of people making
The
fake
Fountainhead is like his Bible.
I know. Instead of people making like fake accounts, now it's just here, just come here and insult me. But
Well, see, because I eventually broke down and did it. Broke down and did it. Mutton chop Scott. Okay, that's because I tried other variations and I didn't like it.
And as soon as you posted that,
I've gotten some wonderful comments.
oh yeah.
Even the one where Kelly thinks I'm a. I for a minute I went, okay,
I'll see you next Tuesday.
yeah, see you next Tuesday. I thought to
John
myself,
Waters film?
yes, right, exactly. Wish you were here.
Because I had said after he posted that post, I had said if I wanted to call you at,
See you next Tuesday.
I would do it directly to your face.
Well, but that's what made it funny is because I for a minute there I was like, okay, well I think Kelly's messing with me, and then I went, well no, Kelly would probably tell me, and then I went, so this is someone else messing with me, huh? And then I jumped over to Facebook because it was like the second thing that I had, and the first one was like meow, like it was one of those like, oh, I'm just saying something to look, the return key worked, like they were just testing their keyboard or something. So I jumped over and I see this conversation where it starts out with Kelly goes, well, I'm not using it. I refuse to use it. I'm not going to use it. Scott, if I think you're see you next Tuesday, I'm going to tell you to your face.
100% true.
Can I ask one question?
Yes.
Is Kelly Statler or Waldorf in this scenario? Sounds like a Waldorf.
He's very much
I'm
a
gonna go
Waldorf.
with
Very,
Waldorf.
very much
Yeah,
Waldorf
I'd agree
in this
with a
one.
Waldorf.
In this one. And I went, oh, okay. Oh, that's funny. I see what he did now. And then I went, no, wait a minute. That wasn't him. Okay, because the minute that I went like that, I was like, okay, so that's definitely not going to be him. So I wrote, okay, well, who put this up there? And then dude was like, Kelly was like, that wasn't me. And I went, oh, okay. So now I know. Okay. So people are out there just stirring the pot.
I bet you $1 was L's.
I don't know who it was. I have ideas. Some ideas have been thrown out this evening that made me go, and I was like, oh, I haven't ever thought about that. Rico, what's your idea on this whole anonymized thing?
Oh, man. Would you love to hear about my
Yes,
idea
we
on
would.
it?
We would.
Okay, first of all, This app is for betas and people with really thin skin.
Oh, you went there.
If you can't take your criticism and speak to me like an adult to adult, and we can't have a rational conversation about it, then we're not as good as friends as you think we are.
Yeah, right.
I've got pretty thick skin. I can take a lot of criticism. It happened all throughout high school.
You're pretty savage too. So
Well,
Can
yes,
I
am.
take a picture of you at the mic with that shirt on
Oh, yeah, sure.
while
Feel
we're
free.
having this
Yeah,
conversation?
feel free. Absolutely.
oh man, put that up on Twitter.
And I don't understand why people want to be anonymously torn down, because that's what the app is for.
Yeah.
It's so you could dish on someone anonymously. And I don't blame the person who created their username to use the app. I blame the people who are posting anonymously to talk all
do
this
too.
crap about people that they know.
Well, and to build on that, somebody asked me if I was going to put one up, and I was like, no, I already know I'm an asshole. I don't need everybody to tell me.
Well, yeah. Some of us are born that way. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, it's okay.
For me, because I frequent the dark places of the internet where the digital sun has not shined for some time. Excellent. But no, it's sort of to me it's not new. To me, like I mean, the app may have like a very weird positive purpose where it's like, no, I want people to anonymously tell me they think I'm great. And it's like, why would you want people to anonymously tell you they think you're great?
Right.
So don't get me wrong, that's great. Because obviously it's like, hey, I think you're awesome. Or in cases I've seen, hey, I really want to have sex with you. Okay, that's great. But now I'm just going to sit there going, so someone likes me? Someone wants to go out with me? Well, just message me right away. Why keep it? Why keep it secret?
Exactly.
Just
Exactly.
tell me. Just tell me. Just be an adult
I-
and tell me.
I
But
am a
no.
grown-ass man. Tell me what you want to say.
So I can tell I'm going to have to be the devil's advocate at the table
Jesus,
on this
really?
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Well, because here's the thing, and I will throw it down to this end of the table for maybe some support. There are some people out there that are not as socially aggressive, socially well-adjusted, who, even if they did want to go out with you, they'd come up and be like, John, okay, what I'm trying to say.
Let me gargle your giblets.
Is hold on. I don't think they could put those words together.
There's a different
Force
app
them out
for
of their
that.
face.
So
Swipe right, swipe left.
also, like Recon, Grinder.
No. Whoa. That's for in case you have a Caesar salad and you want to be the person to provide the pepper, right? You need a grinder. So is that not?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm
So
talking
it's
about.
really more like you're looking for salami and you're looking for a big bun to put it in.
Oh, that has nothing to do with a grinder, though. I don't understand. So the Jaguars.
A grinder is a hoagie.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Oh, see, I see
my
where you went there.
God.
So
I have
a
now ruined
Jaguar-
sandwiches for our listeners.
A
So I'm proud of
Jaguar
myself.
wants to purchase a Jaguar. When the Jaguar gets flipped, we'll all have to be like, did anyone get hurt? And the Jaguar is going to be like, meow, meow.
Did you just
It'd be
sneak
terrible.
your
He
bad
did.
bun?
I did.
I did.
well,
So,
since
but is
you're
it
the
that
king
same
of
kind of
puns,
thing?
you know.
Because the notion is, what if they want to go out with you, but they're an introvert, or they're scared, or they're socially conscious, or socially awkward? Isn't this a good thing?
No,
no,
not at all.
no. If you're going to be a grown human being, be direct like a grown human being should.
Wars have started over that.
My
That's what
feeling,
I'm saying.
and this
about
is probably
to.
going to be the controversial thing at the table, I feel like we're doing a lot to help people with social anxiety. And don't get me wrong, sometimes, if you don't want to talk to someone, don't talk to people. If I'm coming to a party and you need to ask me to bring chips, text me, don't call me. But I feel like at other times it's sort of no, we need an app like this so that people who, suffer from anxiety and can't say that they like someone, well, this app lets them do it anonymously. And it's like, yeah, but also once you just start doing that regularly, just start going, hey, Rico, nice hair. Hey, Kelly, I like the fact you like Warhammer. Hey, Scott, that's a pretty cool shirt.
thank you.
Then you start to build up your ability to be able to do it more naturally.
You're absolutely right.
But it just feels like now it's sort of are you too afraid to talk to someone? Let's take out as much of the conflict as possible so there's no personal growth involved.
Conflict
And to put it in like a
drives us. Without conflict, we stagnate.
Well, that's a Nietzschean point of view. I'm
You're
really
damn
more.
right it is.
I'm really more of the if you really want to improve and you want the anxiety not to feel so bad, and I fully acknowledge that telling someone, hey, don't feel anxious is about as useful as telling someone on fire, have you tried seeing it from the fire's perspective? But
That's a hell of an analogy.
That's phenomenal. I'm so going to use that.
But at the same time, we also should be like, hey, anxiety sucks. I have anxiety.
I do too.
I had to work at United Way. I had to do at least 200 phone calls a day. And they were awful phone
You
calls
guys
because
have-
I would usually have to be like, can we have money? You don't have money. Do you want our money? I can't give you money. Could you give us money? And then just that conversation would just be horrible every time.
Wow.
But after a while, it's sort of okay.
It got easier, though, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
If I don't make 10 more calls before lunch, I can't go on lunch, and then my supervisor will yell at me. So let's
you
try
go.
to call 10 more people and get these knocked out.
You guys have seen how I act, like when we go to cons. I'm like all insular, trying to stay with one of you guys from the group because I don't like to be crowds.
Yeah.
They make me nervous. I don't know why.
That ringing wasn't me.
It
Yeah,
was me.
that was Kelly. No, and that is another indicator of a high C personality. Is you have those that you're comfortable with. That is your insulation layer, and you know what?
is.
I don't want to deal with anyone else. So thanks for playing.
Yeah.
And there's high S tendencies have that too. Those are the both bottom line. So in other words, DIS or DISC or counterclockwise. The top two are very big people. The bottom two are very people are good, but only the people I know, and everyone else needs to stay away.
So
from
when Josh keeps inviting me to do stuff, I'm like, I'm just gonna hang out with you over there, Josh. Why? Because nobody will talk to me then. Yeah. If I have to talk to somebody, it'll be through a lens.
So
And I don't know. I just feel like, and I get that apps like Sarahah aren't new. I mean, it is new because it's the first one that's plugged in so seamlessly with Facebook.
yes,
But I don't know. It's just at the same time where it's sort of a hey, I can have my paranoia confirmed. That's how I view the app.
really.
Where if you're someone that's paranoid and you think that people are like out talking behind your back and plotting against you, why would you give them an app that essentially goes, "Hey Rico, turns out people don't like your hair, and they think your shirt sucks."
Oh man, can I just say, Matthew, brother of ours, you know him.
Brother Warland. Mm-hmm. I said his last name. I did.
When I put that post up on my Facebook about how I wanted people to just they could just shite on me right here in person, he was like, "You know what? Your soul patch makes you look like a douchebag."
Yeah, I saw that.
And I was like, "Thanks, man. I appreciate your brutal honesty." And I preface this post on the Facebook, which is public, by the way. I preface it that I won't get mad at you. I won't delete you. There won't be a fight. We'll just talk about it.
And I think that
there
was
were
Brother
only
Fuson, not Brother Warland. My apologies.
Brother
Yeah,
Fuson.
Fuson.
Brother Warland did make an emoji dick on
Yeah.
my because that's what he does. Because he's fantastic.
I loved how you guys actually refined your artwork, and you were like, "Oh, but what if you make the balls this way?"
Yeah. Have you tried it like this? Yeah, because that just looks better. The 8 as the
does.
balls looks ridiculous.
Right.
And
It's all about standards.
only Scott and Fuson posted on it. Everybody else I'm friends with is too scared or has nothing negative to say about me.
I really don't have anything negative to say about you.
Well, 'cause
You've
my
always
take-
been a great guy to me.
It's really more along the lines of and I'll be blunt because this is what I felt when I saw your post. It's along the lines of, okay, I could say something, but is it going to matter if I felt really like I needed to talk to Rico before now? Wouldn't I have gone to a party and been like, "Hey Rico, let's go to the front porch." Okay, Rico, hey, this is going on. And
Yeah.
Instead, it's what was I going to say? And how do I top the dick emoji? Where
Well,
am I
right.
supposed to be like, Rico, I don't like your name, and then they'll just be like, "That's weird and petty. Why would you bring that up? Why would you say that, John?"
And then you'd be like, well, but I don't get an emoticon. I don't get an emoji that I.
"Yeah,
Well, and I mean, I personally really don't have anything but bad to say about Rico because he made a custom piece of music for my son's YouTube channel. Nice. For the intro.
Oh yeah, is he using that?
He's editing stuff right now. He hasn't had time
okay.
to put anything up because he's been back to school.
Oh, that makes sense.
School started on Wednesday.
Last
Sorry,
Tuesday.
I
for
was
us.
yawning. Oh, yeah.
That's an important PSA for people who don't have kids because then they know to slow down in school sounds."
Yeah, exactly. Like, seriously, I want to punch people.
Oh,
Imagine it was
Jesus.
your child. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't have children. Okay, well, use your imagination there, idiots. But you imagined that you didn't have anything you needed to say, and nothing that you wanted to throw out publicly, but wouldn't an anonymous app that you could just, hey, here's the thing, send. No?
But that's petty. It's tiny. It's cowardly.
I'm pretty aware of my flaws, and
All right.
people also, in my experience, have never been afraid to tell me what's wrong with me. So I've never
Your
needed.
puns suck. No.
I've never needed it. Puns are joyful.
He
and they
is
bring
very
delight.
punny. You take that back.
No,
I was playing.
People have never been afraid to tell me what they think of me. So it's really sort of so this is for like the last 1% who haven't jumped on the bandwagon to be like, your posts are stupid and annoying and I hate reading them. That's fine. Unfollow or unfriend me, whatever. I hate your random comments and conversations. Yeah, because you were saying something like, pithy and intellectual. And it's also like the ones I usually get is, man, John is one fat guy. It's like, thank you. It's not like I never
John,
noticed.
you're not fat.
You're big boned.
Well, I wouldn't even go to the...
I'm big boned surrounded by layers of insulation.
Yeah, there you go. So,
Actually, I've lost weight.
Well,
I'm pretty proud of that,
according
but
to Gabriel Iglesias, you would actually be fluffy.
I hate that. I actually don't find him funny. That's the thing.
You don't
really?
find
He's
him
lost a bunch of
funny?
weight.
He
Yeah,
has.
put that on your Sarahah app, Gabriel Iglesias. You're not funny.
He's hilarious.
At
all right.
R1C0 me, bruh.
Couldn't I just do it on Twitter and then
Right.
maybe I'll be rewarded with like something? He'll insult me back, and then I go, I do like him after all, but now I'm banished watching his stuff.
Yeah,
Now
it's
you're-
all good.
yeah, now you're blocked.
I've got 7 Sarahahs.
Sarahah!
Yeah, there it is. I want you each to pick a number from 1 to 7, and I will read them out.
4.
Who's going first? I heard a number.
Kelly said 4.
4? Okay.
4.
So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And this was the one that made me go, really? Honestly? Okay. And it's not even one that contains see you next Tuesday.
Well, then you know it's the one Kelly wrote because he picked it out exactly.
I know what you did. The secret will come to light eventually. Prepare for the reckoning. Which I was like, okay, first of all, if you don't give me any details, like, you know what I did?
Last
I know
summer?
Right, exactly. Last night. And I was like, well, since I'm an open and honest kind of guy, I know what I did, and I'm really not going to apologize for that. So thanks for playing. Moving on. Yes, Rico has a question.
That seems to be a common theme I've seen on my friends list of people that have those. There's always been something to that effect. I know what you did. You should be ashamed of yourself. Or
Like,
I
really?
know. Yeah, it's
I opened the door with my robe open. Whatever.
It's probably
I'm not going to apologize for
absolutely
that.
nothing. It's probably just some jerk ass that is posting
And
that same trite
And the
tired
fact
stuff
that I then,
on
when I
everybody
saw
else's.
the person standing on the other side of the screen door while my robe was hanging recklessly open, and then I did a Captain Morgan, I'm not going to apologize for that either. So I know what I did too.
That's brutal, dude. I love that.
I don't get it. All right.
People who are wondering if I've posted on their Sarahahs, whatever. Sarahah! No, I have 2 recurring themes. One, I either talk as your pets
Nice.
because I find it funny.
That's hysterical.
And I have the pets be brutal because I always want to know if they're going to look at their pet afterwards and go,
be like, "Did you write
Fluffy,
this?"
no, you're the jerk.
Yeah, you
you
jerk
clean
ball."
your own butt. Or I have this reoccurring theme of the baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is saying that, no, you remember that baby you framed for murder? Well, that baby just got to 2 years old, and he got paroled, and he is coming after you. That
Nice.
baby remembers. Goo goo gaga, motherfucker.
The North
then-
remembers.
Very nice.
And then-
Very- I like that. I like that a lot.
Because then
Good
people are
stuff.
going to go, baby?
Nice. Very good. All right, you got a number for me, Rika?
3.
Threes?
It's a combination of 3 and 5.
2, 3. Do you want 3 and 5 or just 3?
No, just 5 is fine.
Read every other word.
5? Oh, okay. Well, now I counted wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm tempted to. That's the one that Kelly thinks you're a see you next Tuesday. So pick a different number.
3.
3. He already. Oh no, he didn't. He picked. What did you pick?
4.
He picked 4. All right. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how this works. You're one of the most engaging, frightfully intelligent, warped, frenetic, genius, narrative minds I've ever had the pleasure of knowing.
I could agree with that assessment.
I was like, well, that's kind of nice.
Well, that's really nice of them.
I was like, really?
Why has it got to be anonymous? Why can't they just compliment you like that?
Well, but so that's the question. If you were giving someone a compliment like that, might it make it socially awkward? I mean,
Why?
would I not just say, hey, thanks?
I think as guys, we're conditioned to view, hey, you complimented that guy and how he looks, you're
Queer.
gay. And it's like, no. Sometimes, it actually, and it's harmless most of the time. Like when you talk to your friend and you go, hey man, that's a really cool jacket. I wish I had a jacket like that. That jacket looks really good on you.
Then
There's
I would
no
say-
context, nothing whatsoever.
Yeah.
And they have to know it, of course. Don't obviously walk up to a random guy in the middle of Broad and go, hey man, those are nice skinny jeans. You look good in those. 'Cause no, that's
look better on
that's
my
harassment.
floor.
Yeah, right. That's harassment.
That's a little, yeah.
That's the same for men or women.
Look better
but,
after I slowly peeled them off of your. Whoa.
With my teeth.
Right?
But no, like we just get told, just like hey, don't play with your friends after a certain age, because then it's going to look like you're really weird. Or hey,
What's the comedian who said he got a birthday gift and his buddy bought him jeans and knew his size and they fit wonderfully and they looked great, and he was like, I think that might have crossed the line, because it's all the things you're talking about. Like, no, I know, saying, hey, you look good.
You know what? If a friend of mine got me a new pair of jeans, I'd be all about it.
Yeah, I would say jeans are expensive.
Yeah,
Good jeans are expensive.
$50 a pair.
Yeah.
Like not like stupidly expensive jeans. Those are not as good as other jeans. But like Target and Walmart brand jeans, those are pretty good.
Levi's,
Yeah.
$50 a
Levi
pair.
Strauss.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. 501s is.
No, that's a great gift.
I'm like bedazzled. This is not a chandelier. Okay,
Bedazzled,
ease up on
no.
the jeans. Okay, straight out Deadpool reference. Yeah, I said it.
Also, don't buy jeans that have like cuts in the knees already.
Yeah, right?
No,
torn jeans. Like what?
You have to pay extra for those tears.
You do.
Yeah.
Just spend the time on your knees to make the holes.
Whoa. Hello.
Gardening is hard work. It often
is.
requires
It
you to
is.
get down on
It
all
is.
fours.
Generally, in a stone brook somewhere.
I used
Yeah.
to go like hiking, and so I'd climb up hills, and that's how I would always tear the holes in the jeans. I would go up
Okay,
steep hills.
That's a good. You should stick with that story. That's a good story. That works.
That's your story and you're sticking to it?
Yeah. No. Okay. I'm serious.
I can't remember the name of the guy from George Michaels. That's it.
Yes. Nice.
Hey, George Michaels was brave enough to go. What? Could have turned down a free meal when the police officer arrested him.
Alrighty then. All right. Give me a number, John.
7.
7. All right. You have the best chops in the biz. I mean, so and the majority of them there was the one that about Kelly and see you next Tuesday. There was the one who was I know what you did last summer. And it was like, seriously, you're not more imaginative than that? Get out of here.
That was probably
and
Palmer.
The other 5 were like, hey, good stuff. Which is why I then sit back and I go, I understand social anxiety. I really, really do. But part of me really wants to say, do you realize that the relationship that you have with an individual would be made better and brightened if you just said, hey, like, right on, that's awesome. And you could make somebody's day or week.
Yeah, because, again, I mean, I can understand if someone might be too anxious to give someone a compliment, or they might think that society wouldn't look favorably upon it, but if you're that worried about, like your anxiety taking hold or being taken the wrong way, then just talk to the person and go, hey, I've wanted to tell you this for a while, but I didn't want it to sound weird, okay? I think that you're a phenomenal painter. And
yeah,
then,
or even better, write it on a piece of paper, the exact same words that you'd put into Sarahah, fold the piece of paper in half, walk up to the person and go, hey, look, I'm not trying to make this weird.
What are we,
grade? I had and then you go, you know what? I wanted to take a minute and put my words together properly, and then hand them the piece of paper. I mean, is that a good option?
Yeah. I think that's a perfectly okay option.
Because now that I can take my mantle, my cloak, my stately robes of devil's advocate and set them aside, I had a person come to me in this very room this evening, in this very lodge this evening, that said, I have a problem with you and you need to go away. And I went, oh, okay. And my first response, and Kelly was there, who's a witness, hand to God, my first response was, okay, I can do that.
Why?
Because as a brother, you have a request of me, and you know what? It's my job to say, I will do whatever I can to help a brother out. That's my duty.
and that's inherently noble.
It is. And I said, you know what? Absolutely.
He did. He really did.
And then I
I'm
went,
not down it.
and then I went,
Well, I mean,
excuse me.
You'd be surprised how tense the situation actually really was.
It was weird.
It
I
was
mean,
really
I wasn't tense.
odd.
I was like, okay. But I was telling myself, because I read the room immediately. I read that guy immediately and went, okay, I have to be very, very calm or he will literally dive over the counter in fear. And it was because
by the way.
this person engaged in behavior that was straight out cowardly.
He did. He really did.
It was no hold barred. I don't feel comfortable saying this about another I wouldn't think that another brother would be that big of a coward to not be able to go, well, what you did was you banged my wife and I didn't like, or what you did was you said this thing, you knocked on Wicca and I'm a Wiccan.
And the worst part
And I
about
went,
it
oh,
is,
did I? What did I say?
the worst part
oh
about
my
that
God.
whole thing is when you asked him to go away and tell you why, he wouldn't do it. He maintained a distance that was not a tete-a-tete distance, but far enough across the room that you could literally still see him trembling when he spoke.
It was weird.
It was really, really
And
odd.
and it was very funny. I'm a student of you guys. Have you guys seen the show Lie to Me?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
With Tim. What is it? Tim
Roth.
Curry. Tim Roth. Tim Curry. Wouldn't that be
played
great?
he played the Abomination.
Abomination in
yeah.
The
Yes.
Incredible Hulk.
Yes. And that whole show was about micro expressions and the whole thing. I love that branch of
You
science,
can
and
read somebody's face in a heartbeat.
and
if you know
I
what you're doing.
always have. And so I studied it before the show came out, and it's brilliant. And you made an observation this evening. You said you tie all those little things and you put it all together. Oh, I love all the little behavior, the little ticks, the little movements, the little thing.
I think that's why we get along so well anymore.
it's so
is
good.
because we can get a good read on each other.
yeah. So
We went from this kind of adversarial thing to
and he immediately, I said, so can we, maybe go in the other room? And by the other room, if you're a brother, I meant the big blue room. Okay. I said, can we go in the other room and you can maybe let me know what maybe I can make amends. Maybe I can talk about this. Maybe I can address this. And I saw it just immediately, it was like, no. And it was a head shake of the, oh dear God, I'm so afraid
Snarf.
of, it was.
from Thundercats.
Yes.
That's it.
And I went, oh, what? And I went, okay.
Trepidatious like
and-
a little snarf.
And I went, this person was so terrified of that notion that the only recourse that I had was to go, okay, all right, then sure. You know what? I'm
Well, the worst part about it
Okay, then.
is he brought up what ostensibly I would think would be lodge business with a non-brother in the same room.
that was just bad form.
I agree. I agree completely.
I mean, that just took it to the whole other level there. So, really, I've jumped in the water with Sarahah. And I think that I tried it. I got some really good feedback. I got some people that have said some really great things to me. I'd love you to come say them to my face. I figured it out who most of them were. That was the weird part. It's real easy to do.
Yeah,
If you know
can tell
people's
by their
writing
speech patterns.
patterns, yeah.
Yeah. And it was, I did have the pleasure, the joy, the real treat of someone that I met relatively recently, or that I'm getting to know relatively recently, said that she got a pervy comment on her Sarahah. And like you said, it's to let the pervs perv. And it's like, okay, why would you? And then she shared this comment, and it was just, I wanted to yell, no! But, like, if you can't write... So I went, and my response, and this is probably, I don't know if I hope this was the right thing to do. I went, that's not a pervy comment. Let me show you a pervy comment.
Here, hold my jock.
Yeah.
I mean, hold my beer.
Hold my bourbon. I'm going in.
Bourbon.
What I really want to know. And it was like,
We definitely need to have another gaming with bourbon night.
we do have to have another gaming with bourbon. That was a lot of fun, and I'm not against that. And since we're getting out of lodge, then maybe we'll. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? No, I didn't.
You
No,
did
no,
into a microphone.
I will.
That's being recorded.
I will. That will all be aired out. I'll. I know. I'm going to use the Matt Warland technique, and I'm going to make those words backwards.
That's true.
That
That's
wigged
perfect.
me out. I
It's a
didn't like-
fantastic
I,
technique.
is.
I
It's
didn't like
nice.
it, and then I loved it, and then I was like, I don't like that. It had it got under my skin, and the minute I realized that it actually really got under my skin, I went, I love that. So, chops for Brother Warland. We're going to use that, and it was one of those where I probably shouldn't have done that because it was very pervy. I mean, but then you could look at my writing style, and it was when I sent it, I went, wow, if you knew me at all, you'd be like, oh, that's God. Like, son of a bitch. So it wasn't even anonymous.
Well, probably because you referenced your mutton chops at least 3 times throughout the comment.
Well,
I tried to avoid that.
I thought if I mentioned it 3 times, it would throw everyone off.
Unaffordable.
Everyone knows I'm a 4 mutton chop mention.
When you use right, and I was like, everybody knows 4 is the go-to. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it was like, well, as the chops tickle the inside of your son of a bitch. Well, and as you run your fingers wildly through the mutton chop, oh damn it! And it was really hard to do. It was just like, was you ride my face like a bicycle seat using the chopstick handlebars. I mean, it was very hard to.
That's great.
Because when you're riding a bike and then
No,
you
I
have a
got it.
passenger
We get it. We get it.
I got it.
Oh, okay.
I got it. But
All
but
right.
part of me was just thinking like, you know.
So has
Generally,
I got it.
generally the seat goes up right up into the butt.
Does anybody else
they
notice
would
there's
be
a new
like
Flowbots album out
farting
this
in your
year?
face, and then
Anybody? Flowbots. Let's talk about Flowbots.
Flowbots. So
Flowbots don't fart in each other's faces.
So Rico got some Tough Stuff stain cleaner and a brush. What kind of brush did you get there? Was it
It was
like
just
a
it was
beaver
just like
hair or
a
a plastic brush?
It was just
metal
like,
brush.
It was just
Short and curly.
No, a beaver hair brush is what you use to put on like shave soap.
No.
Oh
It was
my
just
God,
some-
that was not even okay.
generic
Plastic scrub brush.
Yeah, plastic scrub brush. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I didn't know. So now that we're out of that dangerous territory, John, I'm sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable.
You made me feel uncomfortable.
You
I just
really
literally
had
thought-
the look of like,
No, 'cause
no,
in my
I get it.
No, because in my face, I just kept, because I have a bike, and so I just kept thinking, do you understand what you're asking them to do? Because there's going to be a whole lot of wedgies and
never mind.
just stinky sweat
I will keep my
involved
bike
and-
comment to myself.
All right.
No, I know what people think they're asking
Stuff's
for. I'm
rated
letting
X.
them know what actually happens. So just so you guys know.
Part of Gaming with Scott, we embrace reality.
We do.
Plus that risk of E. coli. And
Whoa, there
Come
was
on,
no
man.
spinach involved. What are you talking about? Remember when the spinach went bad? and
sometimes
there
there's
were people-
spinach involved if it's a messy
done
enough
right.
dump.
Oh,
But, you know,
dude,
just
come on.
Whoa,
Dang.
whoa. There might be children listening. No, there's no children listening. It's okay.
I don't let my kids listen to Behind the Masks.
So, you don't?
No.
Okay, yeah, because you know you're on it.
Damn, I'm on about 2/3 of those Behind the Masks.
No, it's not going to happen.
No.
Okay, well then, so I think we have definitively come to the answer of, okay, it's a cute gimmick, maybe,
Yeah.
and it's really meant for those people who are like, I want to
For people with tissue paper thin skin
Right?
and people that are too bitch to say something to somebody's face. Yeah.
Right?
There it is. Rico summed it up well.
You know,
Isn't that,
I had a similar moment to the moment you had with a guy in the lodge here tonight. I went to my wife's. She works at a hospital. I went to the cafeteria to get lunch with her one day, and the lead security guard of the building, like the head of security for the hospital, confronted me in the cafeteria to throw me out.
for what? Well, I mean, being you or
I
was there
scare
some-
people.
Well, you do. You're intimidating.
And I had scared one of the managers really bad. I think I actually made her piss herself.
Oh, well, that's less than
And
optimal.
yeah, well, he came up and he confronted me. And he's like right in my face, had a gun open, visible on his hip. Didn't have his hand on the gun, had both hands crossed in front of him, but was trembling the entire time he encountered me. And I couldn't tell if he was waiting for me to come at him or if he was going to just, he was hoping that I would just run. But he was trembling, shaking like a leaf, just like that guy was.
Wow. Yeah, it was real weird. But anyhow, all right. Well, now that we've gotten that out of the way, I think we've come to our verdict on Sarahah. And
Sucks.
with that, I think it can bring us to an end. We thank you for listening to Gaming with Scott and Behind the Masks. And as always, you'll hear from us real soon.
Bye. Don't be scared.
And that'll do us tonight for Gaming with Scott presents Behind the Masks, a Southgate Media production. You can always send us an email at gamingwscott@gmail.com or catch us on Twitter. Josh Elliott is at Asmodee369. Dan is at Malkware. Josh Jackson is at ActionJack853. And Rico is at R1CO. Or me, Scott T, at GamingWScott. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/GamingWScott. Remember, superfans, the more you share, the more we make. If you love what we do, share it with your friends. If you don't love what we do, please share it with us. This show will only be made better by listener participation. Send us email or comments on Facebook, or send us a tweet of the things you would like us to discuss. We promise we will get your comments and topics on the air. And as always, you'll hear from us real soon.